Alright, Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of His Son, which is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the nation of Israel, better known as the Great Millstone. Shalom and salutations to the elect, to the 1/3 and the 144,000. Shalom to the fellow laborers, Akim, teaching the same truth and doctrine with all sincerity, the water, death to 2/3 and all the wicked. I was going in on a lesson yesterday, and through the Spirit, it got cut short, and I'm just gonna pick up from. I'm just gonna start over, and Lord willing, this is edifying. And what we have pulled up here on the screen is the word itself, edify, which, as you can see, it means to build or construct. Now, also in a figurative use, to build up morally or in faith. So, another side topic, the whole point of doing videos and lessons and really this brotherhood and this truth and this knowledge is to build you up morally and in faith. And the scriptures tell you that we're looking to receive a fleshy heart and not a stony heart. A mind that is more towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and that is no longer under the program subject unto vanities. Okay? Because that's how we are right now. We're in chains of darkness and carnal beings made subject unto vanities. And so what we're becoming and what we're pulling away from, what you're building up to is a moral character, a better character. And, I see, there's a lot of Israelite groups out there and a lot of different guys who are, so-called leaders, but you don't really see them building up the morality or the character, content, and integrity of the men that are around them. They're not grooming leaders. They're just trying to stay in the top position. They're not looking, to have like-minded men around them. They want to be the top mind, basically. Now, there is an order to things, of course. There is a pecking order to things, of course. But that's not to say that you can't be, even, so like Yahweh Shai's, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has given us our gifts and divided them to us according to His will. And that's to go and show you that you might be proficient in one subject more than another brother, but where you're not proficient, another brother will be. And so, in that case and in that time, that brother would be the lead or the expert on that. So you knowing how to follow and how to be a leader in one department, well, when it comes time for you to follow him and let him be the leader in this department, you can do so. And I was kind of picking up from a video I did a day or two ago about grooming to be leaders. Okay, so Salaki, so edifying is to build up morally. Now, one of the things I see guys doing in a lot of these other camps in not building up the moral character of their people is they're still adhering to ways of the world. Now, there's different examples I see this in, and I see this in guys that are signed on to 501c3 charters, guys that are demanding more than 10% of people's income, which is tithing. You see this in guys that are adhering to the code of the streets over the code of the scriptures. And one way in particular is like snitching. Snitching. And I saw this video with Polite and Sonnetter, and they broke it down. They said, look, if we get into a fight, a slap boxing match, and turns into a fight, and it was a fair one, and I win, and then the loser, he's going to go and get the gun. And you know what? That kind of resonated with me, because when the loser comes back with the gun, there's no hood law or street law on this guy. But if you snitch because he came back with the gun, then you're the bad guy. You see how fucking dumb that is? And the reason why I say that resonated with me is because you had these guys in the Sakari, Alizé, sent some goon to he sent some goon to come and sucker punch me, right? And then when he got his ass whooped, him and his little partner, then the first thing he said is, "I'm gonna come back with the gun." I'm like, wow, really? You didn't want the fair one, and so you got what you wanted. You got an unfair fight. That's what you came to pick, an unfair fight. Got your asses whooped. Now you want to bring a heater. So now I'm the snitch because I went and I said something. You see the hypocrisy? So with that, we're gonna grab what is that? Exodus 20. We'll come back to Susanna 1 and 20. We'll go to Exodus. It's like to like it. Exodus 20 and I don't know, it's like 16 maybe. Right, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. You see? So they'll say you're not supposed to snitch. Well, which code of ethics are you holding on to? Which moral character are you building up? Are you building up the carnal man, the moral character of a carnal man, someone in the streets, or are you building up the character of the spiritual man? You know? It says you're not supposed to bear false witness. So if you're bearing a false witness, that means you're lying. So you're not supposed to lie, man. We're not creatures of deceit. You're not supposed to be a liar, okay? Now I want to get Susanna 1, I think it's around about 20 where this all starts. Now there's a good story, you should read it. It's only one chapter, okay? There's good morality in this story, okay? Now, you had these two elders, okay, that were hiding. And so the servants with Susanna, and she was in an area to bathe. She was there. No one saw them hiding, as you see in verse 18. It says, but they saw not the elders because they were hid, you see. So they're already lying, you see. And you already know why they were hiding in there where she was bathing and lying about it. You already know what they wanted. Verse 20 or verse 19. Now when the maids, Susanna 1 and 19. Now when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us and lie with us. You see that wicked shit? They wanted to run a train. Verse 21. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee, that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side, for if I do this thing, it is death unto me, and if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. It is better for me to fall into your hands and do it not, than to sin in the sight of the Lord. With that Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Then ran the one and opened the garden door. So when the servants of the house heard the cry in the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna. See? So, bam, bearing false witness, man. So, what do you think Susanna's supposed to do? She's going to snitch. You see? She's going to tell the truth. Okay, that's what she needs to do. That's what she's going to do, right? But she already knows it's their word over hers. Okay? But the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Okay? Verse 35, and she weeping looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in the Most High, Yahweh. See? And the elders said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then a young man who there was hid came unto her to lay with her. Damn, you see? Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leapt out. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. See? fucking, fucking dirty ass dudes, man. You see? Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people, so they condemned her to death. See? So she already knew what it was. But here's the thing: because of their lie, you have to keep telling lies, and that shit's gonna catch up with you. So now the elders got to get questioned. Like I said, I encourage you to read this story. But basically, he questions them and he separates them. Okay, and in verse 58, it reads, "Now therefore tell me, under what tree didst thou take them companying together?" Who answered, "Under an home tree." Um, and the other one, in verse 54, who answered, "Under a mastic tree." You see? So they both said a different tree when he separated them. Okay? He says, "Then said Daniel unto him, Well, thou hast also lied against thine own head. Thee bore a false witness, for the angel of the Most High waiteth with the sword to cut thee in two, that he may destroy you." With that, all the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised Yahweh, who saved them that trust in him. You see? So that's what these guys are teaching people. In as far as not building up a moral character, you're teaching them the ways of death, man. And this was coming from a guy. A lot of these guys, the things that they say and do, they're like, "Oh, I'd kill this elder, or I'd kill that apostle, or this, that, and the third," on things that they themselves won't even hold to their own degree, whether their family members be homosexuals or sodomites. You don't ever hear them saying that about their own family. You see, so they cherry pick their morality, and that is not moral. That is not in pursuit of a fleshy heart. So you can't say that you're all about the commandments, but then still live a double life in wickedness, man. So you're supposed to tell the truth. You're supposed to tell the truth. When you look at the story of the Maccabean children, the children in the book of Maccabees, right? They told the truth. The king wanted them to wanted the people to lie and say, "Look, we'll say that it's we'll feed you venison, you just eat it. We'll feed you the lawful food, you eat it and say that it's pork." And for their integrity's sake, they said, "No, we're not going to lie. That's not in our custom. We're not going to lie." And the king's like, "Well, who is it hurting?" It's like, "Well, they're being wanted to commit idolatry, basically." And so no matter how these people try to church it up, and a lot of these other Israelite groups and leaders are going to try to church up and justify a lot of these things, the reality is, at the end of the day, if they're not building you up to make moral sound judgments while you're separated and alone, to answer correctly, that's on your head. Because at the end of the day, no man can save you. You're in your training and rehearsal now to be protected in the time to come. With that, Shalom.